Oppression continues. My biological father, my sperm donor, anybody can have a baby, but it takes a real man to be a father. He is again being aggressive, and he is trying to put a permanent mark on my record. I have done nothing. There was an incident 3 years ago. There's been a restraining order. The incident was his fault. He tried to murder me. But evidently Linda Bramlage, the judge, and Sue McIntyre, and the Gallatin County criminal justice system seems to think that attempted murder is not a crime. Ask Josh Neal if he thinks attempted murder is a crime. It is a crime, and it happened to me, and so far I have got zero protection or justice from this case. The deal was for him to stay in his sphere and for me to stay in my sphere. I'm in Louisville. For the last 3 months. I'm on a bicycle. So how can a person on a bicycle harm anybody or hurt anybody? The definition of domestic violence is physical altercation. So there was a physical altercation which he had started, he had initiated, and he had finished it off by trying to hit me in the head with the golf club. He swung 3 times, and because I was fast, I was like Bush, I ducked that shit. Because I was able to duck, I was able to live, and that's where we're at now. So I wanted just to recap the events that happened today and to talk about this EPO, which I just got filed, which I just got served with today by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. So, okay, so I had called, I'm in school right now to become an educator, to become a social studies teacher, and I don't want to have to talk about this issue because if you have not lived through child abuse, then you don't understand it. A lot of folks were not sympathetic or empathetic with me. If you've had a good life, if you had a regular childhood, it's hard for you to understand. So I called Gallatin County Courthouse to see if the DVO was up, and it is. Since September 17, 2012, the DVO is up. So there has not been any restraining order. There's an EPO on me now. I just got started with this EPO now. So I guess, the restraining order is still up, but I have no intention of being around him. The deal was he stays away from me and I stay away from him. That's a good deal for me. The best revenge is to lead a good life, and I don't want to be around that insane psychopath, that violent terror purge, that terror of Gallatin County. I don't care to be around him. I haven't been around him. I was on a bicycle, so I wasn't around his business. I wasn't around his house. There's no way that he thinks that I'm going to be physically threatening of any sense, unless he's just a paranoid delusional. He's a borderline dysphoric case, that's for sure. He goes to bed thinking he's a good person, even though he had assaulted me over 5,000 times during my childhood, and he's allowed to assault me, and that's okay, because children don't have rights in Gallatin County or Kentucky. Children's rights is a myth. So he's allowed to abuse me and to enslave me and to make me work in the tobacco fields and in the gardens for absolutely no pay or wages or rights. He had a free slave. He got free labor out of me. That's what my old man represents to me, the one and only Kevin Forrest Deaton. Kevin Forrest Deaton continues to be aggressive towards me. I've not issued any threats. He says that I've issued threats. I've not issued any threats. The only thing that I've done on YouTube, I read Toxic Parents because I've had trauma in my life and I need to talk about it. Anybody that has trauma, there's 2 things that they say you need to do for PTSD for the military. You need to build up your social networks, and you need to talk about it. You need to talk about the trauma as much as possible so you get used to all the things that had happened. So 5,000 assaults is okay. Attempted murder is okay. Ask Josh Neal if attempted murder is okay. Josh Neal, the sheriff of Gallatin County, doesn't appreciate when someone tries to take his life, and that's what had happened to me. Attempted murder. My biological father tried to murder me. He's a sadistic psychopath, and he's only shown aggression and violence and terror against me since I've been born. For 30 years, I'm a 30-year-old man, and I've had enough of this shit. I'm going to fight this. Now I'll take this. I've contacted a lawyer, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to give the best shot that I can give to make sure that either this goes away or he'll get a mark on his record as well. So I go there this morning, 8:30. I just found out about this yesterday, and I had several things. I was wanting to petition for a DVO. I wanted a continuance to get a lawyer, and then I had a statement to read. I wasn't able to read the statement, but I was able to say some of the things that I wanted to say. So I go in there at 8 o'clock in the morning. Linda Bramlage is there, and Sue McIntyre. Sue McIntyre and Linda Bramlage was there. And I sat down there, and they were cold as ice. They pretended they didn't see me. They were having a small chat, small talk, and I was like, well, is that intentional? Is it not intentional? I think Sue McIntyre, I think she hates me. She absolutely hates me. And then the brown-haired lady, I'm not sure what her name is, that's down in the office. I think she's in solidarity with the oppression. So the oppression continues. Me being beat up as a child is the staple for my life. It's the reason who I am. It's the reason why I do what I do. It's the reason why I fight for justice. It's why I'm against oppression and bullyism. It's why I'm against any type of intimidation. I can't stand anybody who coerces somebody else to do something. If you're going to get somebody to do something for you, you convince them. You don't force them. You don't force them to your will. Do as I say or else. I'll crush you and I'll hit you and I'll pummel you. And if you don't do as I say, I will beat you up. It's insane that someone who gets beat up, have 5,000 plus assaults on them, is not a crime in Gallatin County, but when you speak up about it, it is a crime. That's not right. It's not fair, and it's never been fair. It's never been fair. I would like some justice, and I would like some protection in America. I would like that to, I'd like for that to happen. But so far, the violent aggressor, who's always been violent towards me, is carrying on with the oppression. He's carrying on. So, sitting in the courtroom, 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock to 8:30, they don't say shit to me. Then eventually, Linda Bramlage says, you're Jonathan Masters. Well, when they were making small talk, they did talk about Obama versus Romney and how Romney won. So it's a bunch of Republicans. So I wouldn't doubt if Linda Bramlage and Sue McIntyre and the brown-haired lady, the dark-haired lady in the circuit clerk's office, if they're all Republicans and that this is all just a political issue. This is all just a political issue to them. They know I'm a Democrat and I'm outspoken against poverty and violence and the abuse, and I'm in favor of Obamacare and universal health care. I'm against the war, and so this is a political issue. It's a political issue. They don't know me. They haven't talked to me, and the last time that Linda Bramlage had a hearing, had a court for this EPO, she didn't give me a fair shake. I even had a lawyer, so you would think with a lawyer you would at least get your voice out there, but I didn't get a fair shake. In that hearing, the DVO was issued when I wasn't there, which is interesting. When I'm not there, they go ahead and issue the DVO. But I went there, and Kevin Forrest, the one and only Kevin Forrest Deaton, wasn't there, and neither was his lawyer. So when I'm there, they're not there, then there is no hearing. They don't go ahead and issue whatever. So they're making small talk, Obama versus Romney, right? So there are a bunch of Republicans. I wouldn't doubt if Kevin Forrest Deaton or any of his Republican friends, if they all have like little Republican meetings and talks about how scared and frightened he is of me. So that's Sue McIntyre, and that's Linda Bramlage, and then the dark-haired lady. I filed a petition because I want a DVO on him. He needs to be restrained from me. And I think that this is going on for too long. I think it's ridiculous that he was able to get the DVO on me when he's the violent one. He's always been the violent one, and he's going to continue to be the violent one. So today, what had happened was it was decided that Kevin Forrest Deaton had filed the continuance for the DVO that's been on me for 3 years too late. So there was not a DVO on me at the time when I was in Gallatin County, or since September 17th. Since September 17th, 2012, I have not had a DVO on me. And there's no reason for it, because I don't constitute a threat in any way, shape, or form. I'm on a bicycle. I'm on a bicycle, and I have no weapons, versus a man who's got weapons, who's got politicians, who's got he's got guns, he's got money, he's got a house, he's got a vehicle. He's doing okay. He's got plenty of resources to come at me, and now he's using every gun that he's got, because that's all he knows how to do. That's all he knows how to do, is to hate me. He's hated me ever since I've been 3 years old. She said, I filed for a petition today with the dark-haired lady to put a DVO on him, and she said that I didn't. Oh, you